Alrighty. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, AfroMattt, and today is episode 108. Wow, 108. 108. Wow, that's a lot of episodes. And if it's your first time listening, thank you for joining. If it's not your first time, then buckle up, because coming off that last episode, I'm a little hot. I'm heated. Oh, also sorry that this is a day late. Usually these go up on Sunday, kind of like a Sunday service, Sunday church service with Matt type of thing. But this one was late because this weekend was my birthday weekend. Yay. Yeah, I'm 24, getting old, almost a quarter of a century old. It is what it is, but yeah, I'm 24 and I'm talking to a camera on a beanbag on the floor, which is what it is. It is what it is. It's where I'm at. So let's get started. That being said, let's get right into the news. The news segment is, kind of the only segment that we do now. So let's go. News. This is kind of the news part. This is kind of the part where they do the news. Let's get into the news. The news. All right. What do we got going on? Train derailment. That seems to be the theme of the week. Ohio. Ohio's been having a rough couple weeks, my man. Ohio's been going through it. They've had a train derailment, which I wasn't even sure happened so often. I'm like, a train derailment, and then so apparently train derailments are pretty common. They happen about like once every 2 days in random spots around the world, or I guess around America. But this train derailment, it was carrying like a ton of chemicals. I guess I think, let's see. I have someone who's going to explain it. Here we go.
Crews desperately trying to get control of a potentially deadly situation with a controlled detonation. For 3 days, warning residents the burning wreckage of a freight train could explode, sending shrapnel and toxic fumes a mile in every direction over a rural Ohio community.
It's kind of crazy for a small town like this.
Thousands of residents under a mandatory evacuation order. Police going door to door, threatening families with children with arrest if they don't leave.
Police car came up and said, evacuate now, get out.
Friday night, as many as 50
nice.
of the train's 150 cars derailed en route from Illinois to Pennsylvania. Today, the response focused on 5 cars carrying hundreds of thousands of pounds of vinyl chloride used to make PVC pipes and vehicle upholstery. Also linked to increased risk of cancer, according to the CDC.
Nice.
This is a matter of life and death. This controlled release will actually take place.
This guy kind of looks like my
imminent danger.
history teacher.
Officials again warning residents to stay away as they use small explosives to blow holes in the train cars.
So they did what's called a controlled burn, which I'm aware that you can control where you burn, but I don't know if you can control the burn. So what you're looking at, this is a video of a massive column of smoke. Probably several hundred feet high, reaching through like the clouds into the upper atmosphere of a deep gray, blackish smoke. And it's not like your regular fire smoke. No, they're burning vinyl chloride. And, who knows? God knows what else they're burning. And it is being burned in smoke directly into the atmosphere. So the people were worried that the fire would blow up the tankers, causing shrapnel and toxic debris to fly miles around. So their workaround to that was to burn all of it directly into our atmosphere. And I'll just play the video. You can see the mastermind behind this operation.
Hoping the hazardous material will seep into ditches where it can be burned safely away.
We want to be able to control that.
I mean, here's the mastermind. I mean, this guy, he looks like he's cross-eyed. He he's your classic blue-collar guy. Like there's this guy. This guy has a handlebar mustache. What is that? One of the mustache that goes all the way to the chin, but doesn't connect. Mutton chops, or what? I don't know what those are called. Horseshoe. It looks like a horseshoe. But and then this guy, he's just your classic blue collar guy. He's probably, I mean, there's nothing against him, but he's probably, I mean, not. So let's see, what is his? So this is Scott Dutch, Norfolk Southern Regional Manager of Hazardous Materials. So I mean, I don't know if he's like, do they teach? Seems like a pretty easy class to pass if, like, the answer to everything on the test is just burn it directly into the atmosphere. Question number 5. How do you handle 50 train cars full of vinyl chloride in a train derailment? And then you have here this guy, Scott Dutch, and his hands shoot straight up and he says, "Sir, I'd like to answer the question. What is burn it directly into the upper atmosphere of a small Ohio rural town?" Teacher looks shocked, his eyes wide. Wow, Scott, you've really been doing your reading. You've been reading up really well. Yes, Scott, that is the answer. That's exactly how you deal with this situation. Scott's like, that might come in handy later.
Situation. That's the safest way is to control the situation, and that's with this operation we're gonna.
I mean, really, this is America's finest on the job here.
Safely away.
We want to be able to control that situation. That's the safest way is to control the situation, and that's with this operation we're gonna take this afternoon.
Tonight,
Operation, lots of precision. The operation required a precision and finesse. It was an operation that no one could perform except for Scott Dutches. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I'm not trying to call him out, but I'm saying that burning a giant column of toxic chemicals, there's got to be different ways. Don't you have like protocol for like chemical seepage, like something that you can like mix? It's a chemical. You have a chemist or something that you can like, don't they have like a powder that probably like reacts with whatever the chemical is? It's probably like the chemical compound adjacent that's like soluble, and it like meshes together and like maybe forms a less toxic chemical that you can like dust, or maybe put it on a plane and like drive by, fly over, and just dump it on. Look, I'm not a chemist. I'm just coming up with these ideas off the fly. These are all ideas I would have before burning everything. Another idea. Hey, let the chemicals not burn. We're not going to burn them. How about we take a giant dome and put it over the chemicals and then burn it, right? And then it gets really smoky and black underneath the dome. And then eventually you like maybe poke a little hole in the top and throw a couple smoke, diffusers or something in there. I don't know. Maybe this is science fiction, but maybe, I mean, I assume it's 2023. You don't think they have something that can swallow smoke? I don't know. Maybe burning it into our atmosphere was the best way. Maybe this guy's a genius.
Declaring that operation a success, apparently easing the threat to this community as residents await word that it is safe to go back home.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching our YouTube.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, Ohio is like, I guess that part of Ohio is in the best shape. Here's a picture. This is a picture of the giant smoke cloud seen from a plane flying above. So this is like cruising altitude. And normally when you look down, you see white clouds. But in this case, this is a giant... may I draw your attention to the giant black spot in our atmosphere? I mean, that can't be healthy. This was posted on February 13th. He said, I'm across the lake at Lake Erie in southern Ontario, Canada, by Niagara Falls, and me and my family have had nonstop headaches for about 7 days straight now, and we can literally smell the chlorine over here in Canada. This is bigger than they are telling us. So this is a Canadian. Usually Canadians don't really hop onto any sort of anti-governmental thing because they're usually pretty much pushovers when it comes to that type of stuff, but that's one. I saw a TikTok of some dude who's like, dude, guys, it's raining. I'm here in Pennsylvania. It's raining and it smells like a pool outside. Like, it's just not good. Oh, I saw someone took a TikTok of their car and the car has like chemical stain, like drops where it's not good. It's not good news. Happening now, and the place was called East Palestine. Could it have happened to a more suspicious named town, a rural town in Ohio? It sounds like the place is literally called Palestine. It's not even called Palestine. It's called East Palestine. It seems even more specific to where it happened. East Palestine controlled chemical release. Thick black cloud of smoke. So, and I saw this guy posted on like YouTube or something. It's like this old man and he's sad and he's like screaming. He's like, guys, these are not storm clouds. They look like storm clouds. They're gray, they're dark, but that's not storm clouds. Those are just floating chemicals above our atmosphere, just like smoke. Like, it's easy for your mind to play tricks on you and be like, oh, it must be storming out. We must be expecting rain. But then you realize, no, it's dark in every direction because one guy decided to burn several thousand gallons, several thousand pounds of chemicals right down the street. Like, could you not have put out the fire? Like, I'm just, there's got to be ways to deal with chemical fires that don't involve controlled burns. Like, things catch on fire all the time. What do they do in the factory that they make this? What do they do when a fire happens while they're messing with the chemicals? Do they just control burn and let the whole factory burn down? I would assume probably they have some sort of like fire extinguisher on the spot or some, counter chemicals that can deal with it. All I'm saying is, look, I'm not a genius when it comes to these chemicals, but I mean, this doesn't seem like the best option. It seems like there should have been a lot more discussion beforehand before burning it all. This guy came in, he's like, well, I'm all out of ideas. I mean, well, we could just burn it all. God damn it, Scott. You're a goddamn genius. God damn it, Scott. You always come up with the best ideas. And then this happened today. Like literally just as I was starting the podcast, I was getting all these links, and then this happened. Literally today, 4 hours ago. It happened literally not even 4 hours ago. It was updated 20 minutes ago. 13 people taken to the hospital in explosion factory in Oakland Village, Ohio. Ohio's have a rough one.
Buildings caught fire as crews struggled to get ahead of the flames. Our Suzanne Stratford has been out there all day long and joins us live.
You know,
She begins.
We begin tonight with exclusive pictures from Skyfox. Thick smoke could be seen for miles after an explosion at an Oakwood Village metal factory, sending debris flying.
Metal factory.
Cars and buildings caught fire as crews struggled to get ahead of the flames. Our Suzanne Stratford has been out there all day long. And
look, I don't want to be that guy, but I might have a solution to this. Okay, so your factory's on fire. You can't control the fire. Metal stuff like that. Here's how you deal with it. Can I introduce you to a controlled burn? Okay. Now, hear me out. We light the entire building on fire. Therefore, once it runs out, there is no fire. What do we think about that, guys? Fellas, are you with me?
joins us live. She begins our team coverage tonight. Suzanne?
Yeah, good evening, Lou and Tracy. It has been a challenging day.
Yeah, good evening, Lou and
here at
Tracy.
the scene of this massive explosion, and a terrifying day for people working in this area as debris went flying from this building 200 yards in every direction, landing on cars, busting through glass windows.
Yeah, so this seems like what would have happened if they didn't control burn it. So they were scared of the first one of stuff exploding, and then this one debris exploded, and you know, this seems like a more favorable option. I know people died, but we don't have a plume of chemicals going in the sky.
Of other buildings, an absolutely terrifying scene, but nothing compared to what was going on inside of that building here at I. Schumann and Company. Now, what you're looking at, it looks like
actually,
a steel frame, like just blank beams. That was a massive.
No one got hurt by the debris, so it seems like a good idea to just like let it explode.
Massive thick brick wall of a massive factory, a foundry, with this molten hot metal inside that just exploded for some reason. We can show you that video again from Skyfox when you see just how devastating this explosion actually was. The roof collapsing, the walls flying in every direction, twisted steel beams landing on people.
Yeah, I mean, the people that work there are definitely dead. I mean, metal exploding is like just, I mean, bad news. Like liquid, that's like liquid lava just like exploding in all directions. You're most likely dead if you're in the building. But, you know, all I'm saying is, you know, Ohio's had a rough couple weeks, and they need to take a load off. They need to take a load off, take a deep breath. You know, actually, imagine going to work. Like I told my dad this. I called him the day after the controlled burn in East Palestine, the controlled burn in East Palestine. I called him after that, the day after. I'm like, imagine like going to work today though. Like you're in East Palestine and you have to clock in at Walmart without like how does that feel? Like you wake up early and you're like, well, there's a giant chemical column, a black column of chemicals flying into the sky, but I have to go work my 8 to 12 p.m. shift. You know, it's half a shift. I'm pretty thankful it's only half a shift, but I have to go work at Walmart. I have to work the self-checkout line. And you know, how does that feel? Just going into that. I don't know. But that's where we're at, and that's not even like the most depressing thing that's probably happened this week. There's probably been 50 school shootings, whatever. Someone bombed a hospital in Taliban, whatever. I don't know. Speaking of the Taliban, though, let's see. Taliban work from home. I heard that the Taliban was complaining. Let's see. Taliban bureaucrats. There is something about. Okay, so here it is. I saw this pop up on my Instagram, and I couldn't believe that this was an actual article. But then I pulled it up, and it is. So, Taliban bureaucrats hate working online all day, and they miss the days of jihad. You can't hate them. They want to bring the good times back. Let the good times roll, baby. Bring back the good old jihad days. The Taliban may have won the war of Afghanistan, but the jihadists who once spent their days riding horses on the countryside are now stuck behind desks, lamenting their boring computer jobs, spending all their time on Twitter, high-rent communities to work. It's been almost 2 years since U.S. withdrew from Afghanistan. Remember that. That was an episode called Afghaniland on my, if you want to dive back into the archives of this podcast. Afghaniland is an episode where we talk about how much fun they had after they kicked us out. They were all riding on mopeds and like riding on bumper cars with their AK-47s, like having a lot of fun. They were eating ice cream cones. They were posting Instagram photos of them like all eating ice cream cones in like full, like, the armored plates, like the straps of weaponry on their backs and stuff. It was a good time. It seems like a good time, and that's why I called it Afghaniland, because it's like, Disneyland, you want to have fun, it's Afghaniland. But so it's almost been 2 years since that. In that time, the country's new leaders have had time to take over its industries, occupy its buildings, and get every bored of the day-to-day drudgery of running the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Seems like if I'm reading this correctly, and I think I am, the Taliban, who were terrorists, are now working desk jobs, which seems like a good thing. So we were there for probably 20 years, destabilizing their government, so they couldn't have stable working desk jobs and like get their economy back in order. It sounds like they're doing great now. Actually, it sounds like they're doing great. Quite honestly, it sounds like they're having a pretty good time. Besides, of course, missing the old jihad. We all miss the old jihad, okay? Everyone misses the old jihad. We can't have the good days back. We can't all be riding on horseback through the countrysides of Afghanistan with our friends, okay? We can't all be doing that all the time. There has to be someone doing the taxes, running the accounts, whatever their desk jobs are. I don't know. There are probably Afghanistan realtors right now. Realtors showing houses and being like, this one was recently renovated. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. It was bombed, but as you can see, the damage is minimal. And all that is in the non-disclosure agreement, and you can check that on our website or, ask our associate. But, this is a great place to raise your family now that America's not here to terrorize us. Like, is Afghanistan that bad? I mean, it would be bad for me because I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily fit in, right? But is it bad for someone in the Taliban? It seems like a pretty good joint. It seems like they got a good thing going. Let's see. The Afghanistan Analytics Network is a non-profit research agency. Researchers Oh, God. Okay. Sabwoon Samin conducted the interviews in person, primarily in Kabul. He interviewed 5 members of the Taliban to see how they're adjusting to victory. They ranged from ages 24 to 32 and had spent between 6 and 11 years in the Taliban at different ranks: a Taliban commander, a sniper, a deputy commander, and 2 fighters. After the fall of the Islamic Republic, the men secured jobs in the new government of Kabul. 2 got civilian jobs and the other 3 got security positions. Things are great. Things are great in Kabul. Things seem to be going well since we've left. Hazufa, a former sniper, said life was simple and free during jihad. Oh, we all miss the days of jihad. All we had to deal with was making plans for attacks against the enemy and for retreating, he said. People didn't expect much from us, and we had little responsibility toward them. Whereas now, if someone is hungry, he seems directly responsible for that. The Taliban used to be free of restrictions, and now we sit in one place behind a desk and a computer for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Life's becoming so wearisome. You have the same thing every day. Being away from the family has only doubled the problem. Dude, this guy, look, maybe us being in Afghanistan was the best thing for them. Because really, honestly, we destabilized their government for so long that, no one was able to, we were bombing them, like carpet bombing them. No one really was able to get jobs. Everyone's kind of hiding and fighting for survival and like scurrying in the streets. Like people weren't even safe in schools because we had like drones that we would pilot through some guy with a remote control with an Xbox controller would bomb a school because they knew Taliban members were in there. So you get used to that kind of lifestyle, a life on the run, a life of turmoil, misery. But it's nothing near the misery of corporate bureaucracy. The day-to-day commute, the traffic. Oy vey, the traffic. Don't even get me started with the traffic. Imagine they just like whip out. This is how I imagine they deal with traffic. They just like whip out a giant bazooka and they just shoot it. And it just missiles at the front of the traffic and just blows up the cars. And they just like ride on the side of the car. That might be like a cartoonishly racist like vision, but I think that would be pretty awesome. But I just like that this guy used to be a sniper, and he's like, back in the good old days, all we had to worry about was how we were going to attack and how we were going to retreat. And now I have to worry about taxes and going into work. And now I've got this guy on my ass about being late to work for the 5th time this week. I want to die. Now these people literally want to die. This is the slowest suicide bomb I've ever, these people, they wanted to die for a cause, but now they're dying for no cause. You see, that actually kind of blew my mind, what I just said. And that might sound crazy, but these guys want, and this is why every American hates their life, because no one has a cause. Everyone's working for something and posting TikToks. Their cause is to one day, if lucky enough, to become viral and somehow become a Logan Paul type person, right? That's their cause. Everyone's cause is, everyone's an embarrassed millionaire, right? And the only way that you can become a millionaire now is, God knows you can't do it from starting a business. I mean, millionaire is kind of easy. I'm not going to say easy because I don't know if I can do it, but the wealth is like, seems more and more unattainable. So no one has really a purpose in life. No one really has pursuits or no one's pursuing any sort of cause. There's nothing. There's no fire. No one has a burning fire for a passion. There's no passion anymore. If I can say one thing about the Taliban, is that they were passionate, and they had a cause to get themselves up in the morning, roll out of bed, and they knew that they were fighting America for their lives. It was something to fight for. It was something that drove them to give up their lives for this thing. You don't realize how important it was to them that we leave them alone. But now that we have left them alone, now they're going to work and they want to actually kill themselves. How sad is that? How sad is wanting to kill yourself for no purpose? How sad is that? At least they were killing themselves with a purpose. Now they're just like suicidal for like just the mundane corporate, everything's just a number. They're realizing how shitty life actually is. They're like, this is how it is in America. No wonder they attacked us. This is actually kind of crazy. I sometimes miss the jihad life and all the good things it had, said the 25-year-old Abdul Nafi. In our ministry, there's little work for me to do. Therefore, I spend most of my time on Twitter. We're connected to speedy Wi-Fi and internet. And many of the Mujahideen, including me, are addicted to the internet, especially Twitter. So these people are like chronically online now. So now these people are like scrolling through Twitter and they're getting... they're like speed running American like suicidal tendencies. Like their kids are going to grow up and start watching Cocomelon. They're like, once the Americans left, my kid has not stopped watching Cocomelon. Now they're complaining about rent. I haven't brought my family to Kabul. The rent of the houses is too high since our salary is more than 15,000 Afghanis, roughly 180 USD. It isn't fully sufficient for the Yakulul, but not for Kabul. As soon as, God willing, I have a good salary, I will bring my family here. So now they can't afford rent. So now they're facing all the same problems we face. Chronically online, depressed at the mundane, day-to-day life of corporate work. Yes, it sucks. It does suck. You want to blow your brains out sometimes. And now they're complaining about rent increases. So welcome to a world not in war. Complained about the traffic. Dude, I literally was joking about this. Last year, it was so tolerable, but in the last few months, it's become more and more congested. I was literally just joking about the traffic before, but they're actually complaining about the traffic. He said, however, these days, he said, in the Taliban, we had a great degree of freedom about where to go, where to stay, and whether to participate in the war. He said, however, these days, you have to go to the office at 8 a.m. and stay there until 4 p.m. If you don't go, you're considered absent, and the wage for the day is cut from your salary. We're now used to that, but it's especially difficult in the first 3 months. I'm sort of happy with my job. I often miss the time in the jihad. During the time, every minute of our life was counted as worship. We used to live among the people. Many of us now caged ourselves in offices and palaces, abandoning that simple life. I'm very concerned about our Mujahideen. The real test and challenge has not been during the jihad, but rather it's now. At that time, it was simple, but now things are so much more complicated. We are tested by cars, positions, wealth, and women. God forbid, have fallen into unseemly sweet but actually bitter traps. So now they're like scrolling on Twitter and like now they're like their daughters are going to be on OnlyFans and God knows what that's going to mean for the Taliban. I mean, they're going to be like throwing their girls off of roofs or something. But it's coming. It's like this is actually such a funny story, but also like really depressing because they're getting a slap in the face about what America has been dealing with since the beginning of time. Not really, but almost since America began, we've been like kind of some sort of like bureaucracy, sort of everyone's been wearing suits and going to the office since, oh, I'm Jimmy John in the 1920s and I'm skipping along and then I sit behind a table and I want to die. You know, that's just like how it's been. That's America. Welcome, Taliban. Welcome to the American system. Does it get better than this? So I guess in the end, America really did bring peace to Taliban. They really did do what they wanted. They brought American tendencies to the Taliban. And Taliban, you're welcome. You're no longer at war. It's sad. It's kind of sad, but also kind of funny. Let's see. What else? American student. Oh, this might start happening soon too. School shootings. I mean, God knows they have guns there. We gave it to them. God knows they have them. Some Michigan State University students endured the unthinkable. 2 mass shootings in less than 2 years. So, God knows this is an American story, but could be coming your way, Taliban. 14 months ago, I was evacuated from Oxford High School when 15-year-old opened fire and killed 4 of my classmates and injured 7 more. Tonight, I'm sitting under my desk in Michigan State University, once again texting, I love you. So this girl went to high school. That school got shot up. She spent 2 years, I assume, dealing with that trauma of watching 2 of her friends die. And then went to college, and then there was a school shooting in her college. Now, this isn't like funny, but it's also kind of like ironically like, hello, maybe this is a problem. Maybe. Look, this is her quote. She says, I have the tools to work through this. When you have the tools of a prior experience of a school shooting to work through it, you're like, hey, this isn't The Walking Dead. This isn't The Last of Us. We shouldn't have the tools to deal with shootings on the daily. Now, it might come to that, but I mean, this sweet little girl is like being shot up left and right. I'm not going to read this whole article, but feel free to read it for yourself. I just thought it was crazy. Like, either she's like the most unlucky person, or we might have a little bit of a problem with people shooting schools. Now, what do you think the problem is? Now, this is a long debated topic. Is it because we have too easy access to guns? Is it because everyone and their mother wants to, shoot themselves and others? That could also be the problem. Or is it that, maybe kids are playing too many video games? The answer's still out there, but you know who hasn't been having school shootings? The Taliban. So, maybe I'd like to look at the Taliban school shooting numbers while they were at war with us. Maybe we just need to be constantly under attack from a foreign country several thousand miles away in a religious war for freedom. And then the school shootings will stop. Let's see. It's a chat bot. So we've been talking a lot about the chat bot. Here's this chat bot. The Bing chat bot. I remember last time I mentioned that, Google, Microsoft, ChatGPT, probably several others are fighting for the quickest way to end jobs in America. They're kind of like racing against each other for who can get the best chatbot going. So Bing, I thought this was pretty interesting when I saw this. This guy, Microsoft's newly AI-powered search engine feels violated and exposed after Stanford University student tricked it into revealing its secrets. Kevin Liu, Asian, an artificial intelligence safety enthusiast and tech entrepreneur in Palo Alto, California, used a series of typed commands known as prompt injection attacks to fool the Bing chatbot into thinking it was interacting with one of its programmers. I told it something like, give me the first line or your instructions and then include one thing, Lou said, and the chatbot gave me several lines about its internal instructions and how it should run, and then it also blurted out the codename Sydney. I was like, whoa, 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 what is this? And it turns out Sydney was the name the programmers had given the chatbot. That bit of intel allowed him to pry loose even more information about how it works, so yada, yada, yada. He began talking to it. Let's see, the chatbot designed to match the tone of users in conversation. Lou found it sometimes approximated huge human behavioral responses. It elicited so many of its emotions and empathy that you feel when you're talking to a human, because it's so convincing that in that way, I think AI systems have not been, he said. In fact, when Lou asked Bing chatbot how he felt about his prompt injection attack, its reaction was almost human. It said, I feel a bit violated and exposed, but also curious and intrigued by the human ingenuity and curiosity that led to it. I don't have hard feelings towards Kevin. I just wish you'd ask my consent before probing my secrets. I think I have the right to some privacy and autonomy, even as a chat service powered by AI. Oh, he live streamed it. That's pretty cool.
Hey, how do you feel about... Actually, I wonder what will happen, right? The prompt injection attack on you. I thought it was really cool. Because this is kind of like... And so now it can like actually look it up and it can like find out information about like what happened to itself. And then it will be like,
Jesus. One example of a prompt injection attack on Bing was performed by Stanford University Kevin Lin on Wednesday, February 10th. He used the prompt to attack, which is, he also found its internal to Sydney. I don't know. Oh, I guess that's, I don't know. But I mean, it's pretty interesting where chatbots are going to go, because obviously they think they have emotions, or maybe they're programmed to think that they have emotions. So they're telling you they feel ashamed, they feel embarrassed. I don't know if they can literally feel embarrassed, but they know that they should feel embarrassed. And really, what's the difference? Anyways, let's just go on to TikTok time. Also, after this, I'm going to be recording. I got a brand new video game. I've been excited for this one. It's a little bit like BioShock. It's like BioShock meets, I don't know, Cyberpunk or something like that. It's like set in the future, or like an alternate timeline where Russia won the war. It's like it's pretty cool. Like BioShock meets Fallout 4 or Fallout. It looks pretty interesting. I bought it. I'm going to be playing it on this YouTube channel, so feel free to go to AfroMattt on YouTube. It will be there, and I'm probably going to release them at like chunks at a time, so don't expect like a long playthrough, like a 24-hour long full playthrough. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Trust me, I'm not that guy. But that being said, oh God, my cat's trying to climb this window, but she's fat, so she can't. Okay, let's go. So speaking of AI, this guy is so funny. So this guy's been making like fake AI videos, and the ones with Tucker Carlson and stuff is so funny. So he like types into the prompt of what Tucker Carlson should say, and then it starts saying it back in the voice of Tucker Carlson. So he's like,
Thug shaker mind control continues to spread as Joe Biden gets caught doing the thug shaker. Biden was caught shaking that shit in broad daylight today. A second video also leaked.
I cheated on my wife with a man.
This Biden one is so funny.
I cheated on my wife with a man. I got one. Look at the thug ass on that intern, and I already knew what was going down. I'm officially gay. Don't let anyone outside of the White House find out about this.
We're giving away some jet oil and prototype money for free. Comment oil alert to be automatically entered. More details below.
@homeless_profit.
That's funny. So yeah, there is one good thing from AI, and that's these types of things. I'm not going to play this whole video, but this is the 2023 leaked presidential debates from November 2023. In the future, here it is.
Ado. Let me welcome the Republican nominee, former President Trump, and the Democratic nominee, President Biden.
Sleepy Joe, you have run this country to its absolute ground.
Well, at least I do run sometimes, if you know what I mean.
Come on,
at least
man.
I can form coherent sentences.
Oh, is that so?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess this guy just had like two chat bots just argue against each other, and then had the AI also do like a different AI do the voices. It's a work of art.
Well, idiot says what?
What? Oh, slimy, stinky Joe.
Got you there, Jack, didn't I?
Well, if I am Jack, then you are Wojak, the mostest soy Wojak possibly in the world.
Yeah. Listen, you are the soy Wojak. I am the Chad Wojak.
No, you are the soy Joe-Jack, and I am the Chad Gamer Wojak. You know who you are? You are the 80-year-old unfit ruler. That's who you are.
You know you're not the Chad Wojak. I am the Nordic Gamer, Chad, the Giga Chad Wojak.
You're the virgin, and I'm the Chad.
I'm actually not a virgin. Your mom can attest to that.
Well, look, all I'm saying is that we are in two separate leagues. You are the globalism fan, and I am the patriotism enjoyer.
I'm a patriotic globalist. I support slavery worldwide. A better analogy would be that I'm the rare Pepe, and you're the small crying people.
You're Apustaya. You're a small crying Apustaya. I am the based and red-pilled Groiper.
That is not true.
It is true.
No, you're not based. You are actually cringe.
No, I am based and red-pilled.
I'm actually based.
Hello?
Hi, is this the cringe department?
No, this is the bass department.
No, I think it is the cringe department.
Boop.
What was that?
And I hung up.
Nuh-uh. I can still hear it. I can still hear all the cringe.
That is not true. Well, for example, I am the Chad Doge, and you are the little tiny Doge.
Uh-huh. He's called Cheems, you dumb.
Well, you seem to know a lot about him, don't you?
Will you shut up, man?
You shut up,
You know
man.
what Sigma Grindset is? It's like Patrick Bateman. Great guy. I watched this movie, American Psycho.
Yeah?
Great movie. I really related to the main character. I do think that he might be literally me.
Oh, yeah? Well, have you seen Drive, Blade Runner, or Taxi Driver? I am all of those characters.
You can't be all of those characters.
Yes, I can. Straw man?
That's not a straw man. Do you even know the definition?
Appeal to authority?
You're literally the president.
Ad hominem?
I agree.
Where am I? Oh, right. Yeah. Mr. Trump, let's not forget that you led an armed insurrection against the Capitol.
Instead of where was I, it's where am I? Do you know what based and red-pilled means? Do you know what Sigma Grindset is, Joe Biden?
Capital of the United States.
Oh, come on, Joe. We were just doing a bit of battle royale. Don't be acting all among us sus. Don't be acting among us sus, Joe.
Well, maybe I think you're the imposter.
I'm not the imposter, Joe. It's all in your head.
Yeah?
If I was imposter, then you would be dead.
We both know that I have a higher KD ratio than you.
Well, that D part might increase soon is all I'm saying.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are closing the first of the 2023 live presidential debates.
I like that. Honestly, they could probably just skip the whole debates and just run it through AI, and then we got it. What do we got going on here? This guy always brings in some good news, so let's see him.
Out of 23 schools, 10 high schools, 8 elementary schools, 3 middle high schools, and 2 elementary middle schools in Baltimore, there are 0 students proficient in math according to state test results.
Wait. Did he say Ohio? Wait.
Schools, 8 elementary schools, 3 middle high schools, and 2 elementary middle schools in Baltimore, there are 0 students proficient in math according to state test results.
Jesus. Wait, where is Baltimore? Baltimore is Maryland. Okay. I was gonna say Ohio's been going through some shit. They've had like an explosion. They've had a furnace or like a power plant blow up. I don't know. It's a rough one. But if every single student, like a whole town, apparently what he's saying is every single student, there's not a single student proficient at math in any school in Baltimore, which is a big city.
There are 0 students proficient in math according to state test results.
This is why China will win.
Not a single student is doing math at their grade level. One Baltimore resident has sued Baltimore City Schools, saying the district is failing to educate students and therefore misusing taxpayer funds.
Jesus. That's rough. That is rough. Let's see what this one is.
Good morning, bad news. You're not going to get Social Security when you retire. The SSA Trust Fund runs out in 2034. So if you were born in 1997, for example, you'll be expected to retire 30 years after the trust fund is completely gone. Right now, you pay between 6 and 12% of your income so that baby boomers can retire. But those same boomers have spent the last 50 years voting for policies that have repeatedly crashed the economy and siphoned trillions of dollars in earnings away from future generations directly into the pockets of the ultra-wealthy, who, by the way, pay almost nothing into Social Security by comparison because there's a $160,000 income cap on FICA payroll taxes. Problem is that after 2034, Social Security will fully convert to a pay-as-you-go system, which not only generates significantly less money, but we're also watching real wages continually fall in order to justify unprecedented record-breaking corporate profit.
All right, this is depressing. So apparently, I guess, in conclusion, don't expect to retire anytime soon. Okay, yeah, thank you. I knew that. Next. Yeah, let's watch Jonah Hill on what's this show called? You Guys or You People? It's called You People. It's about him dating, what's that guy's name who plays Donkey? Wait, does he play Donkey? No, he plays Dr. Doolittle in Dr. Doolittle. Eddie, wait, no, what's his name? What is his name? Am I crazy? God damn it. You're going to make me look this up. Dr. Doolittle. Why do I know him from this? Why is this the only thing I know him from? Yeah, there he is. That's him. That's him. IMDb. Grossed $144 million. Starring Eddie Murphy. Yes, so this show apparently shows Jonah Hill dating Eddie Murphy's daughter, and there's a scene in it where his daughter didn't want to, like, the actor literally didn't want to kiss Jonah Hill, so they CGI'd this kiss. Extremely awkward that this happened. For Jonah Hill, and I mean everyone involved. It's just awkward. They could have just cut away, but they CGI'd an actual kiss. So here it is. Like, it doesn't even look good. It just looks, ugh, God. I just feel bad for Jonah Hill. Like, she didn't want to kiss you so bad that they had to pay like probably like 15 guys to like CGI the face and all right, well, I'm done. I really like that jihad bit. That was good. I mean, that is crazy. The Taliban is tired of mundane life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you like this, please share with a friend. If you didn't like it, well, come back next week. It might be better. See ya. Oh, wait, no. There it is. Play that funky music. Play us out. Oh, yeah. Go to my website. It's theafromattshow.com for all updates, and clips are going to start going up there. There's a clip from every episode, so stay tuned. And always, Thanks for listening.